Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fabulous Friday Rambling. I am your perpetual host, the Bardic One, David Horridon, and we are here to cover everything pop culture fun. Or if not fun, at least be helpful in our criticism about it. No reason to blind hate when we are talking about entertainment. So, what we're going to cover today is something a little bit different for the ramblings, but not quite. That's why it's just a little bit different. See, before I was really doing the ramblings regularly, I did kind of written reviews. It used to be up on our website, but things happen, situations change. The website is no longer with us. However, I do have copies of the articles and reviews that I wrote, and I'm in the process of getting them up on a new hosting site. So I will have information on that soon for people who want to read my thoughts instead of simply listen to them. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I did begin a process of reviewing various miniseries as from IDW with their Ghostbusters license. Now, the real basics of this, and I have covered this before in other places. Yes, I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I have both of the classic movies. I have played various video games, including a few on this channel under the Bardic Ways section, which is our streaming game show, as opposed to a game show, because there's no prizes or contestants. And we have a lovely playlist for that. I also have various other Ghostbusters paraphernalia, many of which I have reviewed. As I said, most of it centering on the IDW comics. IDW has had the license for several years now, and initially produced a handful of minis and one-shots for settling into a ongoing series that ran for multiple volumes and a few years. Since then, they have decided to really stretch their creativity and are doing a series of minis in place of one big ongoing with a bunch of story arcs. This is making it a little easier for people to jump in and out, and it really highlights the fact that what they have been doing with a lot of these minis is working the different alternate reality crossovers. There was the IDW Ghostbusters meets the real Ghostbusters, which was, of course, the classic cartoon series. They had Ghostbusters meet up with the reboot Ghostbusters, which that movie is kind of gained the fan name of Answer the Call. That crew itself had their own mini. We had a mini with a just everybody crossing over. Big crossover thing. Including various video games. The one thing we haven't seen is a direct classic movie universe, and that is because the IDW continuity is vastly based off the movie universe, or the not movie universe, but the continuity of the first two movies. They do make little small references early on to the other realities, and obviously their stuff will never be truly canon with the movies because the movies are being done by a different group and the comics are kind of, as I said, doing their own thing. But in the IDW continuity, the events of the first two movies happened. Now all this is to build up to the fact that I'm going to review today not their latest mini, but the one just before that. Because I do not yet have a copy of the latest mini, as I have settled into getting them in trade paperback form. And said mini has not yet ready for me to purchase as a trade paperback. But more importantly, I'm doing this as a video review because it ties into other video reviews I have done, as this is not only a crossover mini, but a crossover mini with a different continuity, a different license. Transformers, more than meets the eye. I have done videos discussing the Transformers and their spin-off show of Beast Wars and its sequel Beast Machines, and some of its Japanese exclusive spin-off sequels. So between that and the fact that, as I said, a lot of those written reviews really have not, that I've done before on the Ghostbusters stuff, have not found a new home currently, I figured let's do a video review. Woo! This is Transformers Ghostbusters. Now, as usual, we're going to be doing... Whoop. Started confusing my auto zoom there. Autofocus, I should say. But yep, our good old buddies at IDW. Where's that logo? There it is. At IDW, in cooperation with Hasbro, who owns Transformers, and Ghost Corps, which is the division of Sony that works on the various Ghostbusters adaptations, including next year's third movie in the original movie continuity, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Go watch the trailer. I'm certainly very intrigued and excited for more information about this movie. But we're not here to talk about that movie. We're here to talk about this. This is part of why I like to get things that I know ahead of time are going to be minis in trade, because see, right here, I can grab one thing, hold it, yeah, look at that back cover image. Woo! Flip through it, read it all in one power session. Good times. Now, let me go ahead and get my indicia right. Again, for those of you who have not seen such videos before where I talk about these things, indicia is a term for the legal fine print presented at the start of various materials, typically published materials. Every comic book, for instance, has an indicia. This discusses who participated in the making of the comic book, who owns the copyrights, the publishing date, all the quick and easy information you need to determine legal ownership. Alright, so let's go through this real quick, giving credit to those involved. Cover artist was Nick Roche. Cover colorist Luis Antonio Delgado. Series assistant editor Megan Brown. Series editors David Mariette and Tom Waltz. Collection editors Justin Eisinger and Alonzo Simon. Collection designer Clyde Garapa. And of course, written by Eric Burnham. Whoop, there we go. Art by Dan Schoening. And letters by Tom B. Long. So there is your crew that brought this wonderful little book to life. Rest of it is basically, it's a rundown of the IDW executives, the mention of as I said, the fact that this is a licensed property, or actually 2 licensed properties, one through Ghost Corps, one through Hasbro. There, you've got the ISBN number, which again is publishing, records keeping. You have the various social media platforms for IDW publishing. All the fun stuff we need to know. Who gets credit for this? Now, I'm going to show you a couple pages real quick. Just let you get a look at the art. Woo! I don't want to show you too much because we do generally believe... Oh, that's a good one. Nice spiritual entity there. Don't want to show you too many pages because we do, as always, follow a spoiler minimum policy here at Roulette Productions. Our job here is not to tell you what it's about so you don't have to read it or watch it or listen to it, but to make you curious and hungry to do that, because we should always support our creators. They work hard to make stuff like this. So, series, subtitled Ghosts of Cybertron. Here's your basic non-spoiler review. View again. But let's go forward with the read. Alright. In this particular continuity, which, yes, because this is a crossover continuity between the 2 licensed properties, is a standalone story. You only need to know the most bare minimum of the Ghostbusters and Transformers concepts to be able to read this story. Transformers, alien robots that have the ability to reconfigure their body, including changing its basic shape so that they can resemble the technology of whatever planet they happen to migrate to. Ghostbusters. 4 scientists and their secretary, Janine Mellons, is always an important part of the cast and crew. Much respect to her. Band together for business and eliminate spectral bad guys. Spectral, supernatural, ectoplasmic, pick your term. Ghosties that are not good. So, this brings us to this particular alternate reality in which many moons ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Oop, different license. Yep, erase that one. On the planet Cybertron, Gozer, the Destroyer, the Destructor, the Eliminator of all that lives, if none oppose it. And Gozer isn't it, because Gozer is beyond gender, as was told in the first movie. Gozer is a higher level spectral deity. Gozer appeared on Cybertron, and as the Cybertronians did not have the particular technology needed to oppose Gozer, all life on Cybertron was wiped out. Handful of the Transformers themselves survived as they were off planet. These were almost all the good guys, aka the Autobots. As at the time of Gozer's arrival, Cybertron was under the control of the Decepticons. These would be the bad guys. I know, if these are familiar Transformers, you're going, no, duh, dude. But you know what? We're not sure everybody watching these videos is familiar with Transformers, despite the many adaptations of it. So we are covering our bases. Don't be mean to the noobs. So as I say, Gozer wipes out pretty much every single bad guy Transformer there is. Handful of good guys survive. However, before Gozer can finish the job, a different alleged deity appears and offers a handful of the Decepticons a way to avoid permanent eternal demise by using its crazy supernatural powers to effectively turn a handful of Decepticons into ghosts. Now, that's a pretty impressive trick. Flash forward to present-day Earth, and one particular ghost of Cybertron has appeared on the planet and draws forth the attention of the Autobots, including new Autobot Ectotron, so named after landing near the Ghostbusters and choosing to adapt an Earth vehicle mode after their own Ecto-1. Ectotron, as a scientist at heart, had shown up, not knowing what this signal it was picking up was, but knowing it was similar to Cybertronian technology and was coming to do some scouting. However, Ectotron quickly makes friends with the Ghostbusters, realizes their particular technology can help with the soon revealed problem of ghostly Decepticons, and eventually calls forth the perennial greatest of all the good guys, Optimus Prime, to join Ectotron on Earth for some help in dealing with both the ghostly Decepticons and the higher being that made them this way. Lots of fun zapping, lots of interesting battle of wits, a lot of good humor, and at the end, a story that, is it good? Oh yes, very fun read. Is it essential reading? Not really. As I said, it is a standalone story. It doesn't have, at least as of right now, any immediate impact on the standard Ghostbusters continuity, or, as far as I am aware, as of this review, the ongoing Transformers continuity presented by IDW's Current Comics. However, if, like me, you are a child of the 80s, or even the early 90s, when these classic shows were still being shown on TV pretty regularly, or you just plain like the old retro stuff that your parents or older siblings got to watch, but you were just a few years late to the party, go ahead and pick it up. As I said, it's 5 issues. You can buy them separately or buy the one trade paperback that I have. Either way. Easiest way to get it, go to idwpublishing.com. They have a store where you can purchase their comics directly from them. It is available at many other retailers, though. So, go with what you're comfortable with, but I did cheap plug IDW's own website store. Just for the record. So, that being said, yes, if you just want a quick and easy story featuring some classic properties that continue to be rebooted, reborn, and reimagined, go for it. Won't take, I read it in an afternoon. 5 comic books is not a huge time dedication. That's the beauty of it. It is a quick in and out, tell the story, and get it done. And I do have to say, that is, unlike some other minis I've read, because I have read a lot of comic books, trust me folks, and a lot of minis, because that's one of the big appeals of miniseries is you are able to just kind of dive in real quick, read it, move on to the next thing if you're not hopelessly addicted to the writers. Which happens too. It's either a gateway drug or it's a one-time fun time. Whatever works for you. But as I was saying, one of the things I do give this mini that I do not give most comic book minis is the pacing. At no point in this comic does it feel like things are just kind of dragging on for no purpose because, I guess the writer really only had enough material for 4 issues, but he was contracted for 5, so he had to just throw some stuff out there to fill up page space. Nope. In fact, this moves at such a steady pace, I personally feel like they could have gone 6 issues. You know? We could have easily gone another issue showing Ectotron and the Ghostbusters kind of working on the other cases that they hint about. Because they're not directly related to plots, we didn't have to see them. There's nothing wrong with that from a writing standpoint. All the key stuff we do see, which goes back to the old writing rule of show, don't tell. So, as I said, it all wraps up to a very enjoyable pace. Each page feels like it is accomplishing something. Whether it's building the bond between the characters or pushing together the main plot, nothing feels like filler, nothing feels like, we could have done without this. So, on that note, it is a highly recommended read from me. Is there going to be a sequel? It's possible. IDW did do 2 volumes of Ghostbusters Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because they also have the TMNT license, which I also follow, and I'm sure we're going to do reviews of that later. Definitely a breakdown of the main IDW series. I did a video of all the different licensed TMT comic books over the years. There was Archie, IDW. I think Dreamwave did a little bit of it when it was a thing. But it's a great video. Oh, and of course, Mirage Studios, the people that created the Ninja Turtles. But yeah, great video. It's in the archives. You can either look at the full video list or you can go to the playlists option. And I've got a master playlist of just all the Friday ramblings, so you don't have to dig through the other stuff that we've done, because we do a variety of different shows on this channel. And we're going to be premiering some other stuff in the coming weeks. I have been teasing it. It is moving forward. Good times. And all in all, we do give thanks to IDW for giving us this story. I consider it a perfect investment of my finances and my time. I'm going to give another little shot of that spine. Eric Burnham. Eric Burnham right there is the man. He does a lot of work on the Ghostbusters. He's been with the Ghostbusters for basically all of its IDW run. I don't think he did a couple of the initial minis one-shots, but once they went ongoing, he has been the voice behind the license. And he has done incredible with it. He's on Twitter. He's a nice guy. Give him a shout-out. Give Tom Waits a shout-out. As I said, IDW Publishing in general has some social media accounts. So, go find a copy of it. Check it out. And when you're done, come back next Friday, because we're going to have more to talk about. What's it going to be? Video games? Wrestling? Movies? TV shows? I don't know. You're going to have to come back and find out. We're here every Friday. We will ramble. And we will thank you for coming here. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Feel free to leave comments. And as always, You don't have to love everything you encounter. But remember, it is entertainment, so even if it's not your cup of tea, be constructive with your criticism. Don't hate. It's entertainment. It's not worth your hate. Don't hate people that like something you didn't like. It's fine. Different strokes for different folks. Positivity. Nothing wrong with it. See you in 7.